Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty traders, so when will the crash happen? When will the actual pullback start to happen? Is there anything we can look for, anything we can notice on the charts to say when we're now likely to start the next downturn or the next bear market that may last for a few years or more? And so that's what I'm going to be talking about here. Also, I'm going to be just covering the indices and also silver and gold. And also I'm going to be covering one stock that is one of the biggest companies in America right now that actually may be getting ready for a pullback and a bit more of a downward movement. So I'm going to be sharing that with you in today's session. So I've got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about today. Before I start, guys, as you know, I have a coaching program, okay? And the coaching program is one, you get access to my #1 trading strategy that I trade every single day that gets over a 90% success rate. You get access to the training material, know exactly what to look for. And then every day you get access to the Facebook group where I'm posting my trades and also get daily help. And every single week I'm doing weekly group coaching sessions. Now, I'm running a bit of a special here. The normal price is $10,000. But for the very first person to email me at howtrader@gmail.com, HOWELL, trader@gmail.com, can get it for only $2,500. And also you get an extension because it's not just 12 months. The coaching ends at the end of next year. So that's over 12 months worth of coaching. But I'm running this as a bit of a special just to help you out. It's only for the very first person only. And then I'm taking it back to normal price. So the very first person to email me at howtrader@gmail, I'll get it for the $2,500 for the special. That's the very first person only. So if that's you, then email me right now at howtrader@gmail.com. And we'll get you started straight away. Now, guys, one thing I want to share with you here is just a quick update on the indices, and then I'll share with you about the whole market crash thing. Firstly, what's happening here on the short term? So the short term here, we're still getting, as I talked about in yesterday's market update, we had this short-term pullback through here, right? So we had this very, very short-term pullback through here, okay? And when we had this very short-term pullback through here and a very weak pullback, that's actually showing, right? It's still showing a lot of weakness. So I still would not be too quite surprised to actually see this thing start to do something like this here, right? So out of this flag here. So if we do start to get a break up and out of this flag here on the Dow Jones, then we're probably likely to start to see a move up. Same for the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 is indeed doing this here, right? So we have this here, right? So we have like a bit of a bullish flag formation. Now, just because it's bullish doesn't mean it's going to break to the upside, okay? Because there's so many times that you'll see a bullish looking flag, and yes, it can break to the upside, which is probably likely to happen. But if it doesn't, sometimes we can get a break down to the downside. If that happens, then we're probably likely to see more of a drop to the downside. So just because it's a bull flag does not mean it's going to break to the upside, okay? So that's something to be keeping an eye out there for. We're pretty much at all-time new highs up here. So I wouldn't be too surprised if they see this thing push new highs. And then because we've actually been going sideways for quite some time right now, actually, because we've been going sideways here for quite some time and we're building this bull flag and we're building strong momentum, I would not be too quite surprised if we do get that breakout to the upside that we get actually ready for a big run. Now, on the Dow Jones, we're looking at the Dow Jones. To me, if we get that big run, then I believe, to me, by looking at this here, if we start to get a nice break up and out because of this whole sideways movement, to me, I actually have a target of how up here at say 29,000 Dow. So that means what I'm trying to say is that if we get a break back above this high up here, if we can keep this formation going, nice move up, a very weak pullback, if we get a very strong break up to new highs, especially if we can get a very good volume coming through, then that to me, guys, spells we're likely to go for another big run to the upside. Now, if that happens, guess what? Maybe, just maybe, that's going to go inside of more of a deeper pullback with silver and gold. Maybe, I'm not sure. What do you guys think? It's really, really interesting, right, to see what's happening here. But because we've actually been spending all this time going sideways, we get a nice move up, a nice pullback. If we do get a break up and out, then you know what, guys, get ready. We could be getting ready for one last shoot in the markets, and it'd be really, really interesting. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing through there. Quick look at silver and gold through here. Silver has actually had a nice little update through here. We actually did have a break below this support line here, but we broke below, nothing much going on, and now a break back up. So we can clearly see this move through here, right? Move down, and then a move back up. So it's really, really interesting to see that we're getting this right here with the market here. So what we're looking at here on the weekly chart, though, we're still looking at this nice move up on this weekly chart. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we did spend a bit more time just going sideways for a little bit more, and then maybe wants to decide to, whether it's going to start to continue up from there. So really interesting. And also, guys, what we're looking at here with gold, right, is pretty much, again, just nothing much going on here. And this was sort of expected to see, since we actually had such a parabolic move. We're just resting here for a little bit. So I wouldn't be too surprised. If we did continue just going sideways for a little bit more. Maybe wait for the moving average to catch up. And then once that happens, we're probably likely to see this thing break out and probably even go for another run again. So it'll be really interesting to see that. Now, let's actually look at this here, okay? So I want to share something with you that's really important to see on the chart itself, and whether the markets are going to crash and so on and so forth. One thing that is we see time and time again, right, is that what happens in most crashes through here, right? What happens in most crashes in the markets. Now, what does happen? We can see that this right now, right? If the market was going to start, just say for example, the market's going to start to top out here. What would be the sign that we're now likely to start to see a downward movement, which could potentially lead into a crash? Now, what would that be? It would be what? It would be a high, a higher low, a higher low. So if this is maybe even a double top, what we're looking at right now, and if the crash is going to start, remember guys, a crash is a crash. 2008 crash. Remember, 2008 crash was what? 12 months plus. So when we say crash, I know you vision an image, one big down bar. Now, yes, that's possible, right? We can get one big down bar, okay? But we can't predict that. But what we will start to get, whether it's the 1929 crash or the 1987 or the 2000s or the 2008, we always got what? We always got a breaking of the low first, and then a rally back up, bit of a sideways, and then a strong move down. So if you're worried about a crash, it is not happening right now. It is not going to start right now. In fact, remember, a crash takes time. A bear market, which is essentially a crash, 2008 was what? The entire 2008 there. So don't try to run out there and try to short the market right now because you're trying to predict an absolutely big down move, because that's not probably like, the only time, big down move, a really, really, really big down move has only happened maybe a few times the last century. Okay, so just be smart about that. If we just, and go back and look at the charts, right? Go back and look at the 1987. Go back and look at the 1929. We always got something like it was a lower low, lower high, breaking past previous lows, and then we broke down, or we got a higher low, then breaking past previous lows, lower high, and then we started to see a down move. Make sense? So so that's basically what you would want to see. Is the next, when will the next crash happen? That's what you probably want to start to see. Again, guys, don't take my word for it. Go back and look at the history and look at the actual chart. Okay? Yes, this time is different. Who cares, right? Look at the charts. The market will tell you when that's likely to happen. With me so far? Alrighty, fantastic. So I hope that makes sense for you. Now, the stock that I was talking about in this video was none other than Amazon. Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon's looking quite weak right now. Okay, really, really weak right now. So what are we seeing here with Amazon? Let me bring up, say, the last 3 month view. Let me squeeze this up a little bit more. What are we seeing through here, right? We're seeing a nice move down. And now we're just seeing, look at all this sideways phase through here. Really, this is what we call a resting phase or an energy building phase. So when we're looking at this here, this is like fuel. So if we start to drop, if we start to get a nice move down from here, a nice move down like that, oh, hang on a minute. Let's go to this one here, right? So if we get a nice drop down from there to there, then we could actually start to see a nice move down. Now, where's it likely to move down? Well, there's probably a couple of different lines that are coming into place right now, but we definitely have a big, thick line that's coming into play right here. And we definitely have a bit of support and resistance. Like that. Right? And we definitely have a bit of a support and resistance line, a bit of a support through here. So it does look like it's starting to roll over. It does look like we're starting to get a bit of a weaker action through here. So I would not be too quite surprised to see if Amazon starts to break this support level here, guys, where we are right now. Let me bring up the 6-month view. If we start to break the support level through here, then I see Amazon coming back down to there. Let me bring up to say the last, say, 3-4 months. There we go. Right. And then we have this X marks the spot through here. So this is Amazon through here, right? So if we start to get a break below this level through, and also we get some sort of increase in volume, especially if it's a nice breakout bar, right? So we get something like this. The perfect scenario would be get something like this here, like another nice small bar through there, and another small bar through there, and then we get like a very large bar breaking down through there, right? Very large sort of bar breaking down through there. Where are you? All right, we'll just leave that there. So yeah. There it is there. Okay. So probably a very large bar breaking down with a big volume spike. If that happens, we've had all this sideways movement, then a breakdown. So the very likelihood of it getting down to here is very, very, very high probability. Again, guys, this is just a short-term trade. What happens after that, we don't know, but there is a big long-term trend line coming in there. But it's only probably a very short-term move. So just keep an eye out for that, guys. That's one stock that I do see that, you know, I know a lot of people like buying, but right now it looks like it's getting a lot of weakness through there. We don't know whether it's going to drop or not, guys. So you don't want to just preempt. You don't want to say, oh, well, I'm going to short the market before it drops. Who knows? It may not drop. Okay, so you don't want to be silly in this one, because guess what? It may hold. It may hold right now and then break back above. Okay. All I'm saying is that if we do get something like this through here, we got this big down move, all this sideways period through here, it has a very high probability of heading down towards at least the 1600 on the short term move. And that's the one stock that I like that is bearish. And that's one thing I do really, really, really like. So I hope you can see there, guys, that wait for confirmation. One, there's no guarantees of actually making a profit on that trade, because we know there's risk on every trade. We can see what's happening with silver and gold right now. And also with the stock market, we may be getting ready. We may be getting ready right now in the short term to actually break up to new highs. And if that happens, we could be getting ready for a move run. And on top of all that, guys, if we are likely to start to see a downturn in the markets, then that's what the market will do. Go look at all the history. Go back and do your own study. You'll be able to see just some simple analysis like that to really, really help you out. So I hope this helped you out there, guys. Just a reminder, the very first person to email me at howtrader@gmail.com gets the coaching, which starts straight away, which is daily coaching, my number one trading strategy. And every single week you get weekly coaching calls. And then that actually starts straight away and ends at the end of next year. Normal price is 10 grand, but I'm doing it for the very first person only, special price. So go do that right now, and I'll see you soon.